Welcome to episode 155 of the UFO Report. I am your host, Manny Moonraker, and initially this podcast was supposed to be about some news relating to Bob Lazar and the recent documentary. Some of you may have seen this already. There's reports out there that when the Bob Lazar documentary was being filmed, there was an incident with the FBI. That's right, the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Is this a ploy to get more people to watch the documentary? Is that what's going on right now? But apparently it was caught on film, and it's part of the documentary that the FBI raided Bob Lazar's house while they were out, him and Corbell were out there having conversations, which were caught on tape. I don't know what to believe anymore. This could be a tactic just to get people to watch this, but you can't fake the FBI, right? Because if you put out a documentary and said the FBI raided somebody and it was a lie, I would think that would get you into just as much trouble as actually being raided. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I've never worked for the FBI or law enforcement, so who knows what the issue is. But there was a news report today that kind of trumped Bob Lazar. Sadly enough. Sorry, Bobby. We're going to go somewhere else for our stories today. But we have two to talk about today because it takes two to tango. And we're going to tango for just a little bit. And, hey, listen, the second one is a doozy. I even downloaded a special track for it because, oh my Lord, I can't, you can't even make this kind of stuff up anymore. The first one comes out of Fox News. Well, it's more like Fox News fucked this one up. Apparently, there was a scientist who was misquoted on his research paper that he presented a few months ago to SETI. And Fox News decided, instead of talking to the guy, we're just going to assume, because assumptions make an ass out of you and me, we are going to assume that the guy is saying A, B, and C, and it turns out he kind of was, but he kind of wasn't. The headline out of lifescience.com, here's the truth behind the NASA document on aliens visiting Earth. That's right. On Monday, there was a headline from Fox News, and the headline on Monday was, NASA scientist says Earth may have been visited by aliens. Well, guess what? I mean, hell, we see shit like that, we just go bananas. Interestingly enough, I saw the article, and I just kept on going. I just had this feeling that this was some kind of rubber dickery. That this was some kind of a fucktard move. Now, somehow I gotta put those two phrases in the podcast. And I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off. I can't help it. I just gotta do it because that's what I do, right? So apparently, this article kind of spread like wildfire. It ended up in the New York Post. It ended up on Russia Today, of all places. Are you shitting me, Russia? Where's that Russian song? Ugh. And then the Daily Wire. And then, I just kept on going from there. People just kept on picking it up. And the poor NASA scientist by the name of Silvano Colombano, that has a nice ring to it, who happens to be a researcher at NASA's Ames Research Center in Mountain View, California. He was probably out there smoking his 420 when the news came out that basically he got rubber-dicked by the media. And I mean, come on. I said 420. It's California. He was probably, had a joint or something going on over there. Not that he wrote his paper while he was high. I'm not saying that, but it's of course possible in California. All I'm saying is that he had a presentation that he delivered to SETI back in the spring. And basically, the overall gist of the whole thing is that Mr. Colombano, first name Silvano, he pretty much said that he believes in the notion that aliens may have visited planet Earth. But he's not talking about they're here now, right? So that's the nuance for this situation. He says they may have visited planet Earth. And what he's saying is he's going off a theoretical idea that it is possible. That people should not look at this as an impossible event. Like it could never happen. And what he was trying to do with SETI was to say, when you guys are putting together your next program, I want you to look at this. I want you to really consider, because of everything that's happening in the media as of late, ATIP, TTSA, Tom DeLonge, the gang, because of everything we're seeing with Space Gigolo, Space Gigolo, I want you guys to really consider the fact that it is very possible that we really should be looking at this very seriously. We should not take UFOs so lightly. And that's what it was. That's what it was. But unfortunately, Fox News decided that they were going to run with it by saying that a NASA scientist pretty much is saying, yeah, we've got the aliens here, blah, blah, blah. Smackety, that's what's happening. This is one scientist, Mr. Columbano, who's thinking with a right mind, right? I mean, come on. You'd have to be a complete moron to think that aliens will never, ever, or have ever visited this planet. Let's be honest. We've only been on this little dust bowl for a mere drop in the history of the planet. A mere drop. It's very possible there were other civilizations here before the one we live in today. And they experienced aliens. They probably got their asses wiped out, handed to them, and blown away. And then we decided to come out of the primordial soup or whatever it is. You just don't know. You just don't know. Here's a guy who's a NASA scientist, research scientist, in California, who says, I'm going to keep an open mind. And you people at SETI, who actually, it wasn't it the SETI people that shot down those ATIP videos, saying that basically what we were seeing in the video was other jets? So, I like this guy, Silvano Columbano. His name has a ring to it, but he's got a brain. He's open to the truth. And that's the kind of guy you need at NASA writing research papers. Not the people that say that everyone in the world is going through psychosis because there is no way anything could be coming here, ever did or ever will. So my hat's off to you, Silvano Columbano. You're the man. You're the NASA man. Hopefully, he doesn't get a bad rap when it comes to the science community. But you know that's going to happen. You know, and it probably already started happening. I mean, Monday afternoon, they were probably like shutting off his ID pass and all that kind of stuff. He couldn't wear the pocket protector anymore. They took that away. And he couldn't wear those nerd glasses with the tape on. They took the tape off. But don't be discouraged, Columbano. We have a place for you in ufology, and that is the truth. Oh yeah, folks. News report number 2 is coming your way. And this track is actually called Evil Aliens. Because the next story has to do with an evil alien. Unfortunately for the people that were victimized by this alien, he wasn't really a real alien, but he was quite evil. And I can actually say this. Unfortunately for me, this individual, he lives in Texas. So it turns out, for you lucky folks that like listening to stories that are just out of the fringe of the craziness of humanity, which just happen to impact ufology. These are the kind of stories I hate when it comes to ufology. These are the kind of people that fuck things up for ufology in every fucking way possible. A Texas man admits kidnapping 79 people to anally probe them while disguised as an alien. What a fucking outfit he must have been wearing. But it turns out the guy was kind of clever. 73-year-old Arnold White was arrested after a joint investigation with the FBI and the El Paso Sheriff's Office and also the El Paso Police Department. And if you didn't get it yet, this fucker, this fucktard, this is where it really fits, fucktard. This fucktard was out in El Paso, Texas. Listen, it's a long way from the Moonraker, let me tell you. So I have no affiliation with Mr. Arnold White. However, if you want to know what Arnold White looks like, in case he escapes, he might get beamed out and go after a few other people. Take a look at the image that was used for this podcast, and that is Mr. Arnold White, 73-year-old perv. He confessed recently for kidnapping and sexually assaulting several dozen people using costumes, drugs, special effects, and he did that all by ensuring that these people believed that he was an alien and that he was down there to probe them. Yeah, man, that's pretty sad. So it turns out that in the early 90s, this retired trucker was doing some crazy shit, and he kidnapped 79 people from California, Nevada, New Mexico, and Texas over a period of 40 years. OMG. Now, he did this by pretty much mixing a bunch of hallucinatory drugs that had LSD, PCP, and all kind of shit just to get them 4.2 far fucked up. The craziest thing about this story is that we know he's a retired trucker, so he actually went in and decked out the inside of his truck to look like an operating room. And then he put on an alien costume. Holy shit, are you kidding me? And for you guys who like visiting, areas that are known for ufology history, crash sites and shit like that. Apparently, this guy would target people who for one particular reason, were UFO investigators, and some of them, he found them hanging out at Area 51 or Roswell. Shit! Are you kidding me? All those people that went to Roswell, Area 51, you guys were all victims, potential victims of this nutbag. Isn't that not the scariest thing ever? I mean, it's one thing to have to deal with the people who poo-poo on ufology, who poo-poo on the idea of UFOs and aliens, but, fuck my life. To know that anyone that was out there visiting either Roswell or Area 51, that you were probably being sized up as a potential victim to be placed into this guy's fake operating room so that he can probe you. And when I say probe, he probed you. This ingenious idiot actually made his own tools, his own probing devices. This is a sick story. but it has ufology written all over it because it is sad and it is sick. Now, there's a total of 347 charges that have been levied against him, and he could face up to 382 years in prison if he's found guilty of all of them. Well, why not? Just fucking find him guilty of every single one of them. He's fucking 73 years old. Make sure he never gets out of jail. That is such a sick individual. It's not even funny. Not even funny. It's just terrible. I mean, that's why I had to use that evil alien thing because, oh my God. And yet, I have this weird thing that I want to see what costume he used. And I'm sure, though the Moonraker has never gone that route, I'm sure people who are on LSD and PCP, I mean, any costume will probably look realistic, especially in the setting that he had them in. A real sick guy. And really, if you look at his picture, he looks like a vampire, to be honest. He looks like somebody is wearing vampire makeup, and that probably is his real face. El Paso, Texas? Oh, God, what the fuck is going on? Those are the stories for today. If you want to read more about the antics of this fucktard, you can look at the link in the description. Because there's a whole lot more to the story, which I was reading and I was like, I can't even talk about that. Oh, he did what? No, I can't. I don't want to. Oh, no. That's pretty gross. Also, if you want to read about the Fox News fuck-up, that's the headline they should have had. If you want to read about the Fox News fuck-up, you can click the description because in there's a link to the article and also a nice lengthy article with lots of more information. And lastly, as always, share, like, and tell your peoples about me. I'm Manny Moonraker, and I think we'll shut this down with listening to that evil alien thing again because it's such a sad state of affairs. And I hate the fact that people would use, the alien UFO situation in order to get that sickness worked on. Sad state of affairs, folks. What can you do? Ciao.